Hitman.com here with the Hitman Ricky Hatton. Ricky, you're just months out from this mega fight with Floyd Mayweather. Tell us how you're feeling about it.
I think it's an obvious answer, really. Obviously delighted. When I first starting off my boxing career, for all of dreams of becoming a world champion, and I never believed that I'd ever get to become a world champion. But as it happens, I've won 4 world titles, 2 weight divisions, and so that went well beyond my wildest dreams. But to get a chance to fight for the title of the best pound-for-pound fighter on the planet is it's just something very extraordinary, isn't it? It's just, and I just can't wait. It just can't come quick enough.
2 years ago, I was talking to you on the phone, much like we are now, and you told me your plan was to go to the U.S. and fight 3 times and then take the biggest fights possible. Is that mission accomplished as far as you're concerned?
It is, really. I think I've been a fighter which has unfairly been criticised over the years by certain quarters of saying I was overhyped, I was just a big ticket seller, I was just an exciting fighter. I was avoiding the best people, and I didn't want to fight this guy and I didn't want to fight that guy, where I think in the last 2 years I've definitely put them claims to rest, because all I've done in my last 5 fights is fight for world titles and, unifying belts. I've got Pete Castillo, the IBF champion, number 2 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, and then I fought Carlos Mauser, beat him for the WBA title, moved up a weight immediately after that, won the welterweight title, moved back down, beat Urango for the light welterweight titles, and then fought Castillo, really. So I think you can't get more than than fighting for world titles and fighting the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world.
Ricky,
all of them names I've mentioned are very, very good fighters, exceptional fighters, but especially Castillo. But I think maybe this one would even surpass that big win.
Right. One thing I wanted to ask you about was after the Urango fight, you mentioned you were keeping your weight down before the Castillo fight. I imagine you've been in training since the Castillo fight, keeping in very good shape.
Yeah, I've been in the gym doing, no, I haven't started my training camp yet. Obviously, when the fight was announced, the fight was still about 18, 19 weeks away, really.
Yep.
So you'd be a fool to go in training camp for 19 weeks. It's just, it's just a little bit too far away. But I've always been, because I've had 2 fights this year and I've kept busy, I've been able to keep in relatively good shape. I've been in the gym ticking over, I've started my weight training already. I've started back in the gym doing a little bit of pad work and stuff like that. So, in about maybe, I always do a 3-month solid training camp, so maybe in a couple of weeks I'll probably start my training camp full time. But because of what I've been doing, because I've been so busy this year, and because of what I've been doing in the last few weeks, doing a little bit of training here and there, I'll still be in pretty decent shape before the start, really. So that will be, I expect to be in even better condition than I was for the Castillo fight.
Can you give us your thoughts on the fight taking place at 147?
Yeah, excuse me, I fought at 147 last time, and I struggled, and I think there's a lot of reasons behind that. One is obviously Clark's always a slick southpaw, very, underrated fighter, but I think more to the fact it was a little bit my fault. Normally when I weigh 140, I had the weigh-in, like the following night I performed in the ring at 154, a stone heavier. That's the weight I performed best at. But when I weighed 147, I ended up putting the same amount of weight on, but I ended up getting in the ring on the night performing probably 6 or 7 pounds heavier than what I am used to performing that type thing, therefore. So I performed best in the ring when at 11 stone, and all of a sudden for the Clark's fight, I tried to make myself as big as him, really, when really it's not possible because I'm a light welterweight. So carrying that extra 6 or 7 pounds on top of the 154 pounds that I normally weigh and what I perform best at, I just lost all my movement, I lost all my speed. It made me very, very sluggish, and it made me struggle. So I think for the next fight, I'll step in the ring at the weight that I perform best at, which is 11 stone, and that'll probably still be, heavier than Floyd, really, because Floyd doesn't put a lot of weight on after the weigh-in. So.
Right. Ricky, I'm going to ask you straight up, how are you going to beat Floyd Mayweather Jr.?
Well, Floyd Mayweather is the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. He's won world titles in 5 different weight divisions, and you can't help but, regardless of what you think of his attitude, you can't, if you know your boxing, you can't help but sit back and admire how much talent and ability he's got. And talent and ability and speed, but which is obviously what Floyd possesses, is all very well and good as long as you get the time to use it. And I'm on you all the time. You know, Floyd likes to sit on the rope for long periods and that, but he's very, very good defensive. He's very, very hard to nail. Floyd is has a style which is hard for anyone to beat because he's got so much talent. But I think if anybody on this planet, any fighter on this planet is going to beat Floyd Mayweather, it's Ricky Hatton, because I've got the type of style that, I believe will give him loads of problems. And, if anything tells us through boxing history, when you look back through boxing history, I'm going to be an underdog, and obviously rightly so, but if you look back through all fights through boxing history, sometimes underdogs win, and sometimes people with the most talent don't win the fight, so sometimes styles make fights, and I think I've got the style to do it.
Oscar had success in spots with Floyd. What did you see that he did that you can add to and have more success?
I didn't think when Oscar imposed himself on him, went right on the front foot, pushed him back, put the pressure on him, kept him working. I think certainly by the midway part of the fight, I think Floyd, I was sat watching the fight and I thought, saying we have in England, I thought you're going to have to pull your finger out a bit here, Floyd, because it was sort of like, seems to be running away with him slightly, but then Oscar took his foot off the gas, let Floyd back into it, and, maybe, it was so close at the end, maybe Floyd did just enough to pinch it, but I think the two fights in which Floyd has come closest to losing was against Hoya and the first fight against Castillo, and noticeably the fact against two fighters that have put the pressure on him, and I don't really call that pressure, not compared to the pressure I put on my opponents,
Right.
So, I understand I'm going to be an underdog, but, anybody who says I haven't got a chance, I haven't got a prayer of winning, I don't think they know what they're looking about. I think it's clear that I have got a chance with the way I fight.
And Ricky, do you feel confident you'll be able to put on the pressure for a hard 12 rounds if necessary?
Without a shadow of a doubt. I've always done that. Stamina's always been my highest quality. From the first round to the last round, I won't stop on December the 8th.
That's great to hear. I'm going to leave you with this last thing here, Ricky. I've got a couple fight results I'm going to name for you, and you tell me if they sound like they have anything in common here. Jake LaMotta beat Sugar Ray Robinson. Joe Frazier beat Muhammad Ali. Roberto Duran beat Sugar Ray Leonard. And?
Yep, Ricky Hatton will beat Floyd Mayweather.
I thought that might sound good.
And that's what, sometimes the fellow with the talent and the most skill, sometimes they don't always win. It's about having the right tactics and having the right style, wanting it more. Stuff like that, and I think sometimes Floyd goes very defensive. Sometimes his work rate drops, and he sits on the rope for long periods and stuff like that, So, in doing that, it's still very, very difficult for you. But nobody would convince me that I haven't got a chance of beating him. No way.
Ricky, is there anything else you'd like to say to the fight fans in closing?
Nothing really. Just. The American fight fans, British fight fans, they all love me for my fighting style and for my heart. And the only one thing I will say about the fight, is if Floyd Mayweather was to beat me, he would have earned it, and I would be the first to go over and shake his hand. But he's going to have to dig so deep in this fight. Probably digger than he's going to have to dig deeper than he's ever done in ever fight, because I'm going to go straight for him, and I won't stop to the final bell.
That's good to hear. It's always an exciting fight with you, Ricky, and you're a classy guy. We appreciate you taking the time.
My pleasure. Thanks very much.
All right. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.